So OpenAI has just released their new search product inside ChatGPT. We're going to test how good it is, we're going to see how it works, and most importantly for us marketers, how we get this thing to recommend our business and our websites. So this thing is built right into ChatGPT and it's called ChatGPT with Search. Now it's only available at the moment to pro users, so you do need a paid account. But when you log into ChatGPT, as long as you're using the 4.0 model, then you'll see this little icon here. You can click to search the web. If we give that a click, we'll see some trending searches, and let's just check out one of these and we'll see the type of results that this thing is bringing. So as you can see, we've got these images here, we've got some copy, and then we've got these links. If we go down to the bottom and we click sources, we'll also see that there's a side panel that pops up with the sources of citations, but also additional search results. Now it's pulling from lots of different websites, obviously. It's pulling from websites that ChatGPT, that OpenAI has a publishing relationship with, so it's got content licensing deals with a number of publishers. It's also pulling from Bing search results as well, we suspect, because OpenAI and Microsoft have a very close relationship and ChatGPT has been pulling from Bing for quite some time. So we can see that there is plenty of information here with citations after each of the statements here, and we can click through these to get through to the underlying article, and then we've got some additional results. So that's obviously news. You can also do local searches as well. So what's the best place to get a haircut near me? If I just give that a click, we will see how it handles local searches. We can see it's done the local search there. Now it's given me some hair salons near Leatherhead, which is kind of near me, but it's definitely not where I live. So I actually wouldn't use any of these because they're all too far away. But nevertheless, we can see that it is attempting local searches, if not necessarily as good as they could be. Let's take a look at another one. So we're going to search for best affordable skincare brands and see what it comes up with here. You can see it's doing this little searching the web thing, and it's pulling from these websites in the answer, and then here are some other additional search results that we could go to if we want. So that's kind of how it works. ChatGPT is not the first LLM search engine. In fact, it's probably one of the last. So we've had Perplexity for a couple of years now, and this is seeming to work pretty similar to Perplexity. We've also had Bing having LLM results inside its search results for some time as well. And of course, Google's own AI overviews. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at a search across all of these different types of AI search engine and see how the results compare. So first up, we're going to start with this search here. What is Lululemon's digital marketing strategy? Now, you can see it's pulled from a range of websites here, and we've got this answer which breaks down into different categories here. We can see each of these categories has the website that has been cited as the search result. So that's a pretty decent answer. It's not particularly rich. There's no images, there's no graphs or anything like that, but it's a very ChatGPT type answer. But we do have our sources and we've got some additional search results if we need. If we compare this to the Google AI overviews, we actually have a pretty similar thing. So we've got the same sort of thing with headings, each of them having its own cited sources, and then we've got the regular search results underneath that. So it's actually fairly similar to what Google is doing with AI overviews. If we compare this to Bing, we actually don't get AI search results for this, but we can click deep search to get the GPT powered results. If we do that, we see that we actually get a pretty similar sort of search result really. We've got these people also asked sections, but really considering that Bing has had this OpenAI relationship for quite some time, this is probably the weakest for this particular search because we actually don't have an AI answer. Let's compare this to Perplexity, which has had this ChatGPT functionality since it was invented a couple of years ago. And again, we've got a similar sort of answer here, probably more detail in this Perplexity answer, but we've again got these sort of headings with information underneath them and the sources that are being cited there. So overall, this is pretty similar to what we're used to seeing. There's no groundbreaking interface or there's no groundbreaking functionality. It's really OpenAI sort of catching up with what LLM powered search is. Or is it? Or is it? Because what this thing should allow us to do is ask much more complex queries than we're used to asking in regular search engines. If we just ask the same searches to ChatGPT with search that we're used to asking in regular search engines, aren't we just treating this thing like a previous generation search? Maybe. So let's try a more complex search. Here we're going to ask, where are Nottingham Forest in the Premier League and how does that compare to the same point last season? This is quite a tricky search for an LLM to give an answer to because it requires live data, which until now, this has been difficult to do. And it also requires them to go back in time and find that answer from a previous point, which is quite a difficult thing to do. This is something that you would have had to do multiple steps on with a traditional search engine to get the answer. So let's see how ChatGPT with search handles this. So it's got the first answer right. Nottingham Forest are positioned 7th in the Premier League standings, and it's even given us an answer from last season as well, which is pretty interesting. That is a good result because we have this thing able to answer more complex queries than previously. Now, if we try this type of search on Google, we actually get a very different type of result. So here we've got the AI overviews answering that question, but it actually doesn't answer for the previous season. It only gives us the current season result. So on the surface, this looks like a worse result, a less complete result than ChatGPT, except that the ChatGPT answer, even with web search, is actually wrong. Match week 9, last season, Nottingham Forest were 15th with 10 points, not 17th with 9 points. So even though it's going to the web, hallucination is still clearly an issue here. Nevertheless, if they can get this figured out, what we're looking at here is a new type of search. Here's another really interesting search. What's the best electric scooter for use on public roads in the UK? Now, this is a trick question because actually it's illegal to use electric scooters on public roads in the UK. And ChatGPT has got this right. But it's also given a more nuanced answer that actually allows it to provide some recommendations of products. This is a great answer to this question. If we contrast that with Google, and we don't get an AI overviews here, so we're looking at the old school Google answer, we miss all of that information about actually, well, this is an illegal thing to do. What you're asking me is illegal. And instead, Google just gives us the products that we can buy. Now, in some ways, that's kind of cool because if you did just want to buy an electric scooter, this is definitely a good search results page for you. You've got all of these shopping ads here. You've got sites where you can buy scooters. You can compare prices. You can see what they all look like. This is pretty good. And as a starting point for a shopping trip, this is a much better result, arguably, than this, where if you click on any of these, you don't even see the product, you just see some images of the product. If you click on here, you actually don't go through to a shop to buy it, you just get to an article where, hey, the product is listed, and then you'd need to go and find the shop. So as a shopping experience, the ChatGPT answers aren't great. Google is much better. But when there's a nuanced question like this, I think ChatGPT is actually coming out ahead on accuracy. We see a similar thing with Bing as we do in Google. So we've got this question here, are electric scooters legal? So Bing knows that there is a question of legality here. The trouble is it's answering this question for the US where I've answered for the UK, so it's kind of missed it a little bit. Perplexity does a great job as well. It says you need to find something that's road legal. Important to note that they're not legal, but there has been a breakthrough. You can go and buy this product. So my take on ChatGPT with search. This is a really good starting point. It brings OpenAI and ChatGPT into the game that others have been playing for a while. And now I think we're going to see all of them continue to improve and iterate and work on their models to make them more accurate and useful for users. There are definitely going to be types of searches where you're going to get better results from this than you are from regular search engines, which does mean that search volume, I think, will increase in ChatGPT as a result of this. Now, for brands and marketers, what does all of this mean? Well, this means that we need to get our business and our website recommended and linked to from ChatGPT. So how exactly do we do that? Well, we do that through generative engine optimization, GEO. This is the new era of search engine optimization. We've covered how to do this extensively on this channel before, but broadly speaking, what you need to do is you first need to get your website ranking in Google or Bing. These are the underlying search engines that are powering these results. The key to doing that, of course, is regular SEO. You also need to be publishing vast amounts of information here, particularly information which shares unique perspectives or your own data or insights that can't be got from other websites. That's going to be really important as lots of websites compete for visibility in these results. What can you give these generative engines to recommend your website versus other websites, it's going to be information that only you have, or perspectives or experience that only you have. Thirdly, you actually need to optimize your content for these generative AI tools. We found that there are nuances, there are things that these tools are looking for which make your content more likely to be recommended. And we've covered those in other videos, one which you can see underneath this video. And then fourth, content marketing and digital PR to get your business and your products and services featured all over the internet will help increase the likelihood that you are picked up in the training data by future versions of these models. Remember, all of these models are trained by ingesting vast amounts of information from the internet. And if they're reading about your business, your products and your services while they're doing that, they're going to have a better native understanding of your business and your products, so that when people are asking questions about that, they already have a bit of an understanding of your business. Generative engine optimization is shaping up to be one of the new areas that brands have to compete if they want to win in digital marketing online. If you want some free help and advice on how to improve your business's visibility in these new generative engines, then request a free website and marketing review from the team here at Exposure Ninja. We'll take a look at your website visibility across the internet, not just in ChatGPT or Google, but across different marketing methods like paid search, paid social. We'll then map you out a prioritized action plan that you can follow to get more leads and sales through your website online. We'll send all of this over to you in a video, which is completely free of charge. This recommendation, this whole service, designing your action plan, is completely free. But not every business is eligible. That's really important. Not every business is eligible. So you do need to apply for this by going to exposureninja.com/review. That's exposureninja.com/review. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and also check out our other videos on how to do generative engine optimization, or GEO. See you next time.